Yesterday, Jurassic World Evolution 2 had its biggest leak yet, and that was in fact the entire roster. There's dozens of new species, as well as returning ones, which I'm going to go over today. Also, if you want the roster to be a surprise, I'd recommend clicking off the video, as I will be covering pretty much every dinosaur. But anyways, if you do happen to enjoy this video, please consider liking, as I post pretty much everything surrounding the Jurassic franchise. Quickly before I get into it though, sorry if the audio is a bit dodgy today. I'm currently in the process of buying a new one, so that should hopefully be sorted soon. So yeah, to sort of kick things off, I'll show you the actual roster itself and what my thoughts on it are. This video comes courtesy of Jack Mills, basically showing every dinosaur and reptile that is in Jurassic World Evolution 2. But before I play it, this is your very last chance to click off if you don't want the roster to be spoiled. So now that that's been said, feel free to pause at any point to check out the list, but in my opinion, it's not too bad for launch. Yesterday I also put out a post on what your thoughts were, and generally speaking the feedback was quite good. Of course a few dinosaurs have been cut, which was a bit surprising, especially with the ones Frontier decided to keep, but yeah, I'm honestly quite happy with it. In my opinion, the only real annoyance is the Giganotosaurus doesn't look to have gotten a redesign looking at its silhouette. I was really hoping for the design of the Giga in the Dominion prologue, since not too many people have seen it, but I guess that's partly why it's not the same. All things considered though, 84 species from launch is a big improvement from the 50 or so from Jurassic World Evolution's launch, but with that being said, let's move over to the analysis side of things. As I've already mentioned, a very small handful of dinos did get cut, these being simply the Doctor Wu hybrids. And just to clarify, by Doctor Wu hybrids I mean the Ankylodocus, Spinoraptor and Stegoceratops, because obviously the Indoraptor and Indominus Rex will be in the game from launch. So yeah, in terms of cut dinosaurs, I'm far from disappointed, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Doctor Who hybrids do return at some point, but just hopefully reworked and redesigned. Now something I know a lot of you were happy about is the new Dinosaurs and Reptiles. Now I would go over each and every individual creature, but for time's sake I'll go over the more exciting creatures. So first of all, we have the Tylosaurus. This definitely took me by surprise. I mean, I was expecting another Zhanjusaurus kind of dino, and the Tylosaurus would have probably been my last guess, but I'm not complaining. It definitely brings some much needed diversity to Jurassic World Evolution 2. We also have confirmation that the mystery mosasaur is in fact the Tylosaurus, as we all pretty much guessed. This is because in the database it's in between the T-Rex and the Tyrannosaurus, which was brought to my attention by one of you guys actually. We knew it was coming, but it's just nice to get 100% confirmation. In terms of pterosaurs, we have the Merodactylus, the top of a pretty cool pterosaur roster. Unfortunately, we didn't get the Quetzalcoatlus, but I have no doubt in my mind we will see it in the Dominion DLC in 8 or so months' time. In addition to all of that, we got our first look at the Liopleurodon and the Elasmosaurus. These two got confirmed by Rich Newbold himself a few weeks ago, and I must say the Liopleurodon looks extremely similar to the one we saw in Walking with Dinosaurs, so you can bet I'm recreating that. The Elasmosaurus looks on paper fairly similar to the Plesiosaur, but hopefully just with a different head, as I'm not a massive fan of the whole snake thing. The leaked roster does also mean the dorsal fin we saw last week isn't a dorsal fin and is, as Jens told us, a mosasaur tail. Now before I end the video, I do have a few problems, I guess you could say, regarding the roster. So firstly, the Deinonychus is seemingly unchanged. I don't want to be a downer, especially as Frontier have done such a great job on Jurassic World Evolution 2, but that crest on the Deinonychus is just so ugly. I guess you could argue it's pretty much a Velociraptor without it, but I don't know, it just ruins it for me personally. Also, I hate to be that guy, but from the looks of it, the mosasaur is the only marine reptile that can actually use the shark feeder. This is because the logo next to the mosa is a shark as opposed to the piscivore sign we see on every other marine reptile. It's just another case of wasted potential, as it would have been really cool to see like an Elasmosaurus stick its head out of the water and grab the shark. Sorry, I can imagine that's extremely against any kind of paleo accuracy, but you get my point. Anyways, that is all for today, and let me know your thoughts on the roster down in the comments. Also, we're in the final 9 days until launch, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you all so much for, well, everything. I've started this channel because, quite frankly, I love Jurassic World Evolution, and wanted to share that to an audience, and I'd never in a million years thought I'd have been here at almost 1,000 subscribers already. The journey so far has been amazing, and I can't wait to see what happens in the future.